is the highest grossing R-rated horror movie of all time. Oh yeah? Well, It Too is number 2. Finn Wolfhard and the rest join us to talk about that. The Goldfinch, mesmerizing, meaningful, Ansel Elgort. He'll drop by to talk about it. And you ain't never had a friend like Aladdin. The cast joins us to talk about that. Available on Blu-ray, DVD, and more on this edition of Extra Butter. What's going on, you guys?
How are you?
Awesome. It's a show where we get together and hang out and talk about movies pretty much the way you talk about movies. Starting over here, the lovely and talented Steph Sanders, ladies and gentlemen. Where do we find you?
I am Steph Sanders everywhere. Grown man here, 12-year-old body.
Guesting on this very movie show, large and in charge since 2015, Kelly Savannah Deaton.
Did you just call me fat?
No,
I'm just kidding. I love you. You can find
powerful.
me at Kelly Savannah Deaton. Powerful. I like that. Powerful.
Did you just call me fat?
No.
Why are we shaming out here? Questions, comments, concern right here at TV Market Sound. Let's get right into it. Everybody said, wow, it is really good. And I said, I told you it was good. I told you it was going to crush it this weekend. Second only to the original It as far as R-rated horror movies go.
Anything with Stephen King behind it,
Yes.
a great, phenomenal cast, and horror comedy is going to exceed expectations.
I'm glad you said that because I typically don't like horror films. I just admit that. But I love it, and I love the sequel. This was great.
I wonder if there was a producer behind it going, you know, with Stephen King behind it, we can't film. Please don't Pet Cemetery. Please don't Pet Cemetery. Please. I love it, guys. What do you think people loved about this movie?
The kids are amazing in the first one, but then that transfers over with this one, and they're in the movie, I'd say, almost equally, wouldn't you, as the adult cast?
Yeah.
And I think the casting was so on point. I just love the story, and I love being scared, and I love laughing right after.
If you missed the show last week, I said I was afraid that the coming-of-age quality of the original weren't going to be present in this one, but very much so. They jump back and forth. Do you have a favorite character?
Well, Pennywise is my favorite character.
Yeah.
Oh, what's wrong with you?
Bill Skarsgård is so gnarly, and you get to see him a little bit more out of the mask this time.
Right?
Yeah.
I caught up with the
worth
entire cast at Derry to talk about it. Now, Finn Wolfhard plays the younger version of Bill Hader's character, right?
Yes.
Oh, dear God, Mark.
Kids say
Here
the
we go.
darndest things.
They really do.
Take a look.
Especially to you.
Finn, if it worked out and Bill Hader was a pretty good snapshot of who you became, how would that be?
I'd be pretty happy, but Bill just got a divorce, so...
Well, you know, you never know. All right, except for all of that stuff. How about, do you have any, your character becomes a stand-up comic, and I'm thinking that would work out for you.
That would be fun.
That was funny.
I mean, yeah,
You're
I'm
right.
not... Yeah, I probably wouldn't do well as a stand-up, but yeah, doing comedy stuff would be pretty epic.
When you found out Bill was your guy, how'd you feel?
Really happy. I was so happy. I wanted... Like, I really, he's one of my big heroes, so I was really excited.
Is there one
that he
word
was
that
on.
would describe that moment?
Fun, huh?
Like epic would even be better.
Epic would be better. Yeah.
I love that you're taking over the interview because it all of a sudden it got better.
Yeah,
The interview
yeah,
started
exactly.
shining. It started popping.
Yeah.
Here, ask him a question. Help round out
you
this
got it,
interview.
you got
No,
it,
you're
you
doing.
got
You're
it,
on a
you got it.
roll. Give him one.
All right, give me an epic question.
Okay, an epic question for you.
Yeah.
So what was it like, your relationship with Andy Bean? How can you describe that?
Andy Bean is the worst, man. No, Andy Bean is a very good human, and if I turned out to be like him, I would be pretty satisfied. I think I'd want a little more. No,
More?
No, more what? I don't know.
Chest muscles?
No, he's great. I mean, he like looks scarily like me. Like you don't really see it at first, but it really gets there, and yeah, I think he's pretty epic and amazing. So.
Jeez, Mark, that's pretty rough. Did Bill Hader ever get back to you and say, what the heck, you know?
No, I
what
kept
happened?
waiting because Finn's publicist ran out and said, "Are you going to run that?" And I said, "Are you telling me not to?" And she said, "No, but are you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm probably going to run it."
That's the best part of the interview.
No one set it up, but I didn't want to
bet.
walk in and say, "Hey, let's talk about your movie and your divorce." No, I didn't do that. Hey, guys, let's bring in backup Hughes, one of my favorite movie reviewers. I don't always see eye to eye with him, but he knows what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. It's Manny the Movie Guy. But although I think where it's concerned, you and I both knew that the original It was going to go on to be one of the most successful R-rated horror movies of all time.
Oh yeah. No, here's the thing. I enjoyed the first one much better, but this one is also entertaining and actually got thrilling near the end. You agree with me?
Wait, what did you not like about this one?
Well, this one is a little long, and it kind of lags in the middle, but then it picks up right on the last 45 minutes of it, so there's a great payoff. I'm a Stephen King fan, and I think the ending of this It Chapter 2, the It franchise itself, is much, much better than the book.
Hey, so Manny, do you think this did so well because American audiences really loved the first one, or do you think they just picked up on it now and are loving it so much now?
I think both. You know, the first one is so great. And so people, and the first one has that Stranger Things vibe, right? So people love that first one, but I think the movie, this chapter 2 ended really well at the box office because we all want to see that thing up.
Yeah.
And part of it too is the magic of Stephen King. I just love it.
Yeah.
You know, when we spin our wheel of guest reviewers on the show, it's pretty much random, but for some reason your mind, you kept coming to mind when I thought about it. And then I just remembered right now why you came to mind. It's because you were wearing that awesome shirt when you saw the first movie. Show it.
Good memory.
Sure. This is the old one though.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
The Tim Curry one? That's Tim
Yeah,
Curry,
yeah.
huh? I like that.
Love that.
Vintage, 90s
But then, you know,
vintage.
we all float down here, right?
You'll float too. You'll float too. Hey, Manny, where do we find you on social media?
Just search Manny the Movie Guy and I'll.
There you go. He is the king, the pride and joy of Palm Springs, ladies and gentlemen. Manny the Movie Guy.
Manny.
Woohoo! Thanks, Manny.
Styling and profiling he
I
was.
love that jacket.
I
No kidding.
know.
And the creepy original It shirt. Now on eBay, everywhere. Hey, you guys, coming up in a moment, want to go into the indie world for the first big indie breakout hit of the season. Might I suggest the Goldfinch? It's Ansel Elgort. He joins us as our guest next. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. We're deep in the fall season when we start talking about Oscar contenders that were talked about at the Toronto International Film Festival, one of which was Goldfinch.
Bum, bum, bum.
Now, on its festival runs, you've heard good and bad.
I've heard good and bad. I just researched it a lot to see what the other critics at the Toronto Film Festival were saying, and I heard it got booed, and I heard people are ripping this movie apart, and I don't know if that's necessarily fair. That is their job. That's our job, right? But I think people should give it a chance. Don't let that deter you from going to see this movie.
What kind of people? Did you boo it, Steph Sanders?
I booed some of it. I could see them. That's why I could see. I could see
truth
them
comes
booing.
out.
But it had some good qualities. It had some good things about the storyline. Interesting to say the least.
Based on, like you said, a Pulitzer Prize best-selling book. How many pages long is this book?
I think it's about 800 pages.
Do you know how many people decided, hell with that, I'm going to go see the movie?
Right.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's hard. Anytime a book is made into a movie, you're going to have those people that do not stand this movie. Right?
Ansel Elgort wants that Academy Award. This is his push. We talk. Take a look.
John and I spent a lot of time talking about this character because he couldn't be farther from who I am. And I've had to sort of adjust in my life and all this time that I've been playing this character. It's been a big adjustment period for me, finding an inner darkness, because Theo is he's not a very light guy. He's had very traumatic experiences, and he is carrying a lot of weight on his shoulders in a way that I don't.
That dude is awesome. Can't wait to see him in Baby Driver 2.
I know,
BD2.
I'm so excited.
There is no Baby Driver 2. I
Sure
just made, there is
Next
not.
April.
It will be.
I just made that up, but I would love to see a Baby Driver 2. This
yeah.
movie didn't work for me, you guys.
No, because it's very dark. It's a sad movie. It's like a portrait of grief, right? And it's hard for people to sit in a movie for 2.5 hours and just sit there and struggle with darkness like Ansel did.
Well, I'd like to see it if there, and I haven't read the book, so I apologize. And a lot of people that booed the movie liked the book, so I haven't read it. And maybe it brings you into full closure, but this movie just left me sad. the whole
Yes.
It
time.
is very dark and
The entire
sad.
time.
Yeah,
The
he
entire
said that he'll never film a movie like this again. That's how hard it was for him, and the darkness is still there. And he lost so much weight. Look how skinny he is,
Yeah,
playing
no
a drug
kidding.
addict.
Trying to get that Academy Award. Just know if you go see this movie, you're gonna have to go home and watch like 5 Lego movies in a row.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. What about Hustlers? Do you
I
think that's
can't
gonna
wait.
get nominations?
Wow,
Yes.
Hustle, yes.
Yes.
I will tell you this, we almost lost Jennifer Lopez as a result of this movie. Want to know why? Look, she almost fell off the balcony at the Toronto International Film
Holy
Festival.
moly.
All right, so she didn't fall off, but that was something that really took place. She got a standing ovation at TIFF. for this movie, leaned over to say, thanks, crowd, and almost fell off the balcony.
Well, that would have been one hell of a last performance,
No kidding.
right?
One way to guarantee, that's commitment.
Do you know how hard? I mean, I've never taken a pole class. I know people that have, I wouldn't say they've taken the class.
Wait, back up. For those who don't know, Hustlers is the story of...
Oh, strippers. So strippers are trying to go after these Wall Street men and take them for all their worth because they think they're scumbags, they take their money, and it's amazing.
I like to call them night ballet dancers.
Night ballet dancers. I love that. I love that. But look at Shayla. Look how amazing she is. And she's on this pole. Do you know how hard? And Cardi B.
Yeah, great ensemble cast in this movie.
Including Lizzo.
Yeah.
Give it up to Lizzo. Give it up to the
Constance
BBWs. Yes, sir. Yes,
Constant
sir.
Woo. We caught up with the J to the Low to talk about it. Take a look.
But I think what this movie does is it's more like a humanizing story because these girls do objectively bad things. So we're not saying like drug men and steal from them.
Right.
Everybody's
Obviously,
complex.
when they see Goodfellas, we're not saying join the mafia. When you do Boogie Nights, you're not saying, hey, the porn industry is great, just go into it. No, we're saying this is a slice of life.
There are humans underneath this. And so I think in that sense, we're humanizing women who haven't been humanized in pop culture before. And in that sense, I think it's very empowering for people to actually just be seen as people.
Yeah, I mean, to have a movie that's produced by women, written by a woman, directed by a woman, starring all women, that in itself is empowering. And we're telling the story of some very interesting characters who are women. And I think, like she said, in that sense, it is very empowering.
I recommend you go see this movie. It's a lot of fun. It might get some awards. I don't know.
I think it will.
I don't know. You think maybe like a People's Choice Award?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go
maybe
the
like
distance.
the Fitness Emporium Award or something like that, right? Pole dancers are fitness people too.
Night ballet dancers. I'm telling you, yes, they have
This
plenty
movie
of talent.
is so much fun though. Everyone should go see it. Bring your guys, bring your girlfriends, bring your grandma.
Yes.
Grandma might like it. Go see it.
Bachelorette
Agreed.
parties, bachelor parties, everybody go see it.
And park the kids at home watching Aladdin. I mentioned this as a segue because coming up next, it's now on Blu-ray, home video, DVD delivery. Why it's amazing, why it's the best seat for this Broadway musical next. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. We're hanging out in a cozy theater, but right now we talk about what you can enjoy in the privacy of your own home in your underwear if you so choose.
Whoa.
Odd segue going into a kid movie.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
However, Aladdin, how much flack did we get about replacing the genie with Will Smith, and how great did that end up?
Everyone literally had to backpedal because he killed it, and he brought a new sense of the genie, like all the hip hop music. And he's so funny. I love Will Smith.
He kills everything he does.
Everything.
His work
I can't
ethic
think of
is
one
phenomenal.
movie.
Yeah, he kills it.
And this movie is really more about your Jasmine than it is about Aladdin, more than it
Naomi
is about the genie. Naomi Scott is great in this role.
So
Can you
beautiful.
imagine any other Jasmine after this?
I can't. No, this is going to be tough, really, to follow up.
Yeah, the whole cast is amazing,
It's
and I think they did it justice. I was a huge fan of Aladdin
Me too.
growing up, weren't you? So when it
Yes.
comes out, you're like, I don't know if they're going to be able to do this, and they knocked it out
I
of
was
the park.
pleasantly surprised. I love this.
It really is like having the best seat in the best performance of Aladdin you're ever going to see. Went behind the scenes with Naomi Scott to talk about it and the perks at Disneyland of being a princess. Take a look.
Can't imagine any other Jasmine after this.
Oh, thank you. That's
What's it
very
like
sweet of you to
when
say.
When you get that call, what goes through your head?
Oh, I mean, first of all, I was asleep when the call happened. I was, because of the time difference.
Yeah.
And so my husband found out before I found out. He woke me up. Obviously, I was like, it was just crazy, surreal. And then I woke up the next day, and as soon as I woke up, I was like, did it happen? Was it real? Did it, but yeah, no, of course it's incredible, but really just so excited to humanize a character that I loved so much.
Right.
And I think because I had ideas and things that I wanted to do, and our producers and Guy and Disney, it seemed to all align. And I think when that happens, it's a really wonderful thing. So I just feel very blessed.
Now, I've talked to other people who have embodied in similar situations, and they said the only thing that gets tough is that they're fans of Disneyland, and now it's going to be impossible to navigate Disneyland without being...
I mean, as long as I, get to the front of the queue.
You are a princess, after all.
Do you know what, though? Probably not. They'll just be like, nah. I mean, that would be fun. I haven't thought of that. Maybe I'll...
Cash that in.
Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, absolutely. And bring, like, a bunch of kids.
Right.
That would be great.
Oh, see,
just like
making the world a better place.
because funnily enough, I turned like 21 and like years ago, and I couldn't do roller coasters anymore. I used to love roller coasters, and I don't know what it was.
Was there
but
a rule?
No, I don't know. My body and I just feel sick.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's the thing. I can't, as much as I'd love to, I'd do it I'd bring everyone with me and then let them have the fun.
Right. Welcome to the Matterhorn. You go.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you imagine how your life would be transformed if one day you're not known by everybody, the next day you're a Disney princess and you're in Disneyland?
She's handling it quite well. She's very regal, like a real princess would be, I think.
She practiced. She practiced.
Super cool modern princess. I dig her. You're going to dig this movie, Aladdin. Yeah. All right, speaking of digging, John Wick 3. Now, let's be honest. This could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Yes.
It went great.
It's very long, though. I think if you like high-octane pictures, this is the movie. It's super fight scene. Keanu, fight scene, blood, fight scene. But it is highly entertaining. The whole time you're on the edge of your seat.
If you were a Kung Fu fan, as a kid, this like did everything for you. In a modern day Kung Fu fan, and John Wick, this movie is beyond amazing. I loved it.
Oh, they're amazing together. There's a dog in this movie as well. There's a great scene with the dogs in this movie and Halle Berry that plays phenomenally well. But the movie essentially is about a boy and his dog. Talk to Keanu about that.
Want to talk about some of your co-stars, notably the dog? Did you guys bond? Did you develop a relationship?
We did, actually. It took some time, as all relationships, but, you know, it got better.
Who's more babied on the set, you or the dog?
There's, me.
that was almost a canine type growl you just
was.
did there.
We bonded.
Got it.
Yeah.
If you like John Wick 1 and 2, you will not be disappointed with this movie.
Yep, 100%. You have to buy this.
Favorite scene?
Halle Berry and the dogs.
Favorite scene?
The fight scene, definitely. All 16,000 of them.
I love the scene with the dogs, where the dogs are running around. It's like dog parkour. You don't see that very often.
That is a crazy scene. Just buy the movie for that scene alone.
There you go. All right, coming up in a moment, Netflix new original, Kelly, hit it.
Tall Girl.
It's about a
tall girl.
Featuring a
tall
girl.
We'll meet her next. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. Before we wrap things up, you don't always get out to a cushy theater to see a movie. Sometimes it's time to Netflix and chill. Which, by the way, doesn't always mean watching Netflix and chilling, as it turns out. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that. It can mean a plethora of things.
I'm the last to know. Hey, so you saw this movie before anybody else. Who would you say Tall Girl is for?
All the Tall Girl. It's pretty much a coming-of-age story. And
right.
if you were kind of an outcast in high school, you'll relate to this movie in a lot of different ways.
This one identifies being the tall girl as being the subject of bullies.
And it's not just her journey through high school and how that she can get picked on and everything and rise above. It's about all of her friends too that have their own insecurities and their own issues. It's very John Hughes.
Right.
This is for the overcomers. This is for the person the underdogs, the overcomers, those who are picked on, all for kids.
And like a lot of the Netflix YA audience-driven movies, if you're a young adult lady looking to make your way through the world, like you, Steph, this would be the movie. As I'm saying that, I see you glazing over and you're thinking, I'm going to do anything but see this movie. Maybe it's not the movie for you.
No, not for me, but if somebody I know some
your daughter would probably like it. Not saying she's an outcast, but you know.
Yeah, at my house she is. But
what are you trying to say? Wait, so you caught up with the cast?
I did, and Ava Michelle, who plays the tall girl, this is her very first movie.
Where do we know her from?
She was on Dance Moms. She has a YouTube channel that's pretty big, and it features Sabrina Carpenter, which she's a Disney star extraordinaire. She's the whole cast. How did you form your character, and what was most important for you to convey on screen playing Jodie?
I mean, this is obviously such a special story for me to tell because I have lived a lot of parts of it. I think the biggest thing for me to really dive into Jodie's story was all of the special relationships that she had, because she really does have amazing friends and like an amazing family and sister, and it was definitely a different kind of dynamic than my own family, so it was really diving into that. But yeah, it was so special to be able to tell a story that was so close to home, especially for it being my first film.
Yeah,
so
you did an
very
incredible
lucky.
job.
Thank you so
now,
much.
Harper's character, you have quite the impressive pageant talent that you showcased during the pageant.
Sergeant Harper.
Kind of scared me. I'm like, whoa, that's skill.
Thank you.
What would each of your pageant talents be?
Ooh.
Starting with you, kids.
Oh, wow.
Ace Ventura, send it over. Let's hear it.
Wow, that's tough.
Any hidden talents in the room?
I feel like I don't have many hidden talents.
I can do like very simple magic tricks.
Oh, cool. That's
So I feel
good.
like that's what I would do.
That's
I'd probably
good.
mess them up too, though.
It's okay.
But it's part of the
all
charm.
learning. Yeah,
you know?
exactly. It's charming
It's
to
like
mess
quirky.
up. Yeah, just like your character.
Exactly.
See? What about you guys?
I mean, I'm a dancer, and I did do some pageants, so I probably would.
You'd
do
clean
that.
up with the dancing,
You know,
I'm sure.
dancing, you know, but I could go into like some hip hop, you know, coming from the Detroit roots.
And what about you guys?
No, see? Head spins.
I mean, normally I would do music, but I've been training my cat to do tricks lately. So
Whoa. I'm a
playing
cat
the
person
piano.
too. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
You brought a cat
That
out?
is amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like
You'd
that would
win if you brought a
I mean,
cat
you'd
out.
probably freak out with the lights and stuff, but I feel like that's a good pageant trick.
That's good. And what about you?
I would for sure throw knives.
You
Yeah.
can- yeah? Did you do a lot of practice during filming?
I did. I'm so good at it. It's scary.
It's scary.
It's actually like the first time that I threw it, I hit it right in the center of the
girl's face.
Of the eyeball.
Wow.
And
That's pretty impressive.
They ended up using it, and I
like-
thought they weren't going to because they were like, she's not supposed to be good yet. She's supposed to work up to it and be better later.
And you
I was
nailed
like, I
it.
can't help it. I'm a natural.
That was a good question. That was a good question. So what would your hidden talent be?
Next, I plead the fifth.
Can't show it on TV.
Yeah. Armpit
Remember
farting
J-Lo?
and beatboxing.
Together?
Are you going to give us a sample of either? I was kind of hoping for the armpit fart, but thank you very much.
Wait, what's your hidden talent? We're not getting away from
Oh,
this.
I can play the William Tell overture on my knuckle.
The-
Onion.
Thank you very much.
Wow. You had too much time on your hands.
Enough about us. What is your talent? Be sure to share it with us. Go to our Facebook page, Extra Butter TV, and on YouTube, it's just simply Extra Butter. And shout out to our 2,000 early adopters. Thanks so much for being a part of the show. Like and subscribe on YouTube. And before we leave, we also need to say a big shout out and thank you to the men and women serving in the American Forces Network.
My fellow brethren.
Thanks for watching the show, you guys. We'll see you next week.